So yesterday we did an introduction about your role, the business. Okay, now we'll start with the pre analysis. So firstly, in the pre analysis, in the table of contents, you must have seen that. You start with your introduction, your role. So your introduction and role is the most important point. We'll start with that. It is like half of the pre-scene if you understand that, because this is where they will say what is their expectation from us. Then it is about the industry. We don't need to be an expert in the industry, but we need to know what is happening in that industry, how things operate there. Okay. Then later on, it talks about your company, Ressett, when it started, how it was, whether it's a listed business or not, how many employees we have. You know, one common mistake that can happen if we don't have understanding of our own companies, will give wrong facts about our own industry or our own business. That should not happen, at least for your company, because you're working there for a long time. You are a manager, and if you don't know the facts about our own company, we cannot give them the solutions, isn't it? So we should know about it clearly. And this pre-scene should not be look like you are reading some notes and all. It's just like a reference. I know in the starting it might take you 30 minutes or even 40 minutes, but once you read like 5 to 10 times, you can just read in 15 minutes, I believe, even 10 minutes, because this pre-scene is small. It should be like a ritual now for morning, evening. It sounds very silly, but trust me, every reading will help you so much. Will give you more and more clarity. And like yesterday we discussed, you have to take the ownership. You have to think, okay, this is my business. I am leading it. You should take it personally. I, me, myself. You, yours, yourself. Any gain is your gain. Any loss is your loss. In fact, loss is a bigger motivator than gain. Is that clear?
Yeah, Vishwa.
Yes.
Now, mindset we have discussed yesterday. I hope mindset is clear. Ultimately, CIMA is looking on this 5 skill: people, business, technical, leadership, and digital. People and leadership can be indirectly tested. In fact, the same thing stays when you go for strategic case study also. The same skill, but little bit of the theory part change. Like instead of E2, P2, F2, it becomes F3 financial strategy. There is no IFRS. It's more about risk at the top, because you get promoted to the boards. But anyways, for now, we need to focus as a middle level. So as a middle level in the organization, we are not taking the decisions. We are not taking a decision whether to acquire a business or not, but we are helping them to take the decision. For example, we can see if the calculation is done properly, or if they need help with the calculation. For the exam, they won't ask, but they'll say what the advantage and disadvantage of using NPV analysis. So you have to create value and help them to make a decision. So this line is very good. From now onwards, you are working for Ressett. So don't just work for Ressett when you are in the class, but think normally also that you work for this business. I'll tell you my story, just to motivate. You don't need to do the same. When I was giving my case study exam, we have micromobility. Micromobility means we use this small electric bicycles, electric scooters to travel from one place to another place, usually in the city itself, like 2 miles, 3 miles. That was a case study, and I got a little obsessed. What I did is, I went to ride that electric scooters. I was in Bangalore, India that time. Then I did download all the top companies' applications who are doing this business in the real world. Then I went to that privacy policy and see which one of them is easier to book. Then there was a lot of funny things and inspiring things coming up. For example, there was a company called Lyft from the US. What they used to do is a part of PSF. Let's say our bill is, the charge is $4.75. So they'll request you to make it $5. And if you make it $5 as a customer, they will put another 25 cents from their side, and this $0.50 or 50 cents will go for a charity or any children's education. So initiative like this, we can recommend for our business also, right? So therefore, in this, whenever you're getting time, like we discussed a little bit yesterday also, spend time and see what is happening in the other e-commerce business.
Like yesterday, we have discussed regarding the subscription, right?
Yes, yes. So we should know what is happening and how things work, because this pre-scene is just the starting point. It is not the end point. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Yes,
Misbah,
yeah.
so just a doubt. See, every time in the exam, the question will be a generic question, or it is something they'll ask specific. For example, any one particular industry they would have given. Here it is a electronics industry.
Right.
You have given as an example the question as how will the manager role in the industry of electronic sales will work? Is that's the question? So my answer should be around that place, covering these 5 different pillars, which you said: people, business, technical, leadership, and digital. That's how I should interpret, or is it something different? I just want to confirm whether I'm understanding correctly.
So technically, the industry will be this only for February exam, e-commerce. First thing.
Okay.
Secondly, the skills, you don't need to try to cover all these 5 skills while answering. It will come
Okay.
automatically. It is the examiner's mindset. For example, if I am setting the mock, okay, or the exam question,
Right.
I will try to test your people skill. You don't need to show your people skill, because if you answer it correctly, automatically you are showing your skill. Let's give an example. Let's say they gave you a scenario that we are in e-commerce and we have to purchase. We are into reused electronics, right? Let's say there is a conflict between the purchasing department and the inventory management department, and both the managers are blaming each other. Maybe we have missed certain deadline, or we have bought faulty products, something like that. Now that issue has come to you.
Okay.
The finance director is emailing you, or the senior finance manager emailing you, that there's a conflict. How do you think you will resolve? So you just need to answer. I mean, this is for everyone. You guys just need to answer how we can manage the conflict. So if you give a good answer, a decent answer, that is, you are showcasing your leadership and people skill. Done.
Okay. Okay.
Make sense?
Yes, Ms. Bhatt. So in this case, for example, I'll take. Is it okay? I keep asking questions and
Yeah,
discussing.
please.
That okay?
We want our sessions to be more of discussion for everyone. I am saying.
Okay. So you gave one question now saying there is a purchasing and the inventory management conflict is there between the managers, and how will you resolve as a finance manager? So if that is that's the question, then maybe as a finance manager, I will say if any particular thing, understand how the process of purchasing function happens. Have they followed each and every process when they are buying it? Whether it is at the right quantity, right quality, right approvals has been taken. What are all the guidelines they should follow? Have they followed? Is there an exception? Have they taken the right approvals for that? Just as an example. Same way in the inventory management, if they're saying the quality is good, so whether the inventory was stocked at the right level of requirement, was there any miss in terms of safety and hygiene, or some ESG or environmental guidelines were not followed? We look at everywhere, each and stage, what they have followed, what they have not followed. If they have not followed, maybe then we'll have to fix that particular issue at that particular department, then arrive at a situation which will help the organization achieve their objective. If I close this, will that cover that question?
Very
Am I
good.
covering?
This is the correct answer.
Okay.
That's how we need to do, because that's how we do in the real world.
Exactly. Okay. Carry on, Mr.
Can be more specific, because they'll give us a scenario. Like
Okay.
yesterday, I showed you one mock. Did I? So there they have given a question, and they will definitely tell you why this conflict has arisen. So you don't need to just talk generalized. They'll give you specific.
Ah,
We have so many points.
okay.
Right?
Maybe at each level, the answers or the resolution should be like how elaboratively I am able to explain, covering the various aspects which is influencing the problem. Will that we have to cover it, right? That's how it has we have to approach
Yes.
rather than looking at one particular term. Say, okay,
This is like these are the skills we are building. But we don't need to make sure, okay, in every question I am bringing digital skill. But if they have not asked, it's not like in conflict, what digital skill you can bring in. We'll say instead of they are meeting, they should just correct online. You know, we can try hard, but that is not expected.
correct. See, in conflict management, basically a skill like how well you are able to your people relationship building skill, your collaborative skills, how well you are able to comprehend the situation and collaborate with both the teams and explain the situation, bring them to a consensus in terms of what is required, making them understand the bigger objective and work towards that. So may I call this as what to say, people management skills or stakeholder management?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe it's Ms. Sorry, I might ask too many questions.
No
Maybe you have
problem.
to bear with me unless I am getting used to this one. Sorry.
Your question. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What is the next question?
So, Misbah, adding to that point,
Ah,
do we only need to provide the solutions, or should we also, identify the potential of the conflicts we might face?
It depends on what question they're asking. Let me take you to the mock. I think that's a better understanding. Before we start, the pre-session, as we'll just spend 5-10 minutes and see a mock and the solution. That will give more clarity.
sure.
I hope Amir and Rakil is also listening to us.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, Bismillah, actually. Since it is the first class of my, that is why
Yeah,
I'm,
no problem. I understand.
I'm settling, actually.
Sure. Can you see a new screen PDF, right?
Yes.
Let's say we go to this MCS mock. So this is a question. We'll see a question first and the answer. Okay. So technically, how it is it's all about an work. They are replicating what happens at the work. You'll get an email, and you reply to an email. This is for the same company. Okay. Your senior finance manager has emailed you. We'll go it little slow only to understand better way. Okay. Subject is investment in Electromart. So this is about the investment. I have brought you an extract from the minutes of today's board
Sorry,
meeting.
Misbah,
Yeah.
can you please check the WhatsApp? Someone is asking for the link.
Okay, one second. Is the same link. So usually our classes will be same link only. Hello, Santhan.
Yeah, hi, Misbah.
Hi, Santhan. Santhan, it will be our same permanent link.
Okay. I
Like
thought
that.
that I was wondering which is the link actually.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No problem.
This is the answer. We'll go to that question. Yeah. So we'll take one question and we'll see their answer. That will give more clarity. Okay. So I have brought you next. Who is emailing you? It's a senior finance manager. So usually The format will remain the same in your exam also. Okay. So I brought you an extract from the minutes of today's board meeting. I need your help to prepare a briefing that Hazel, so Hazel is our finance director, will know from the Preseen who is, will present in the board's Ressett's board. Okay. Discuss the challenges associated with predicting the cash flows from operating Electromart as a 100% subsidiary in order to determine the NPV of this investment. So technically, this is it's a technical question. They are testing your knowledge on NPV, okay, and how you apply it to the business. Second question, if we see, discuss the characteristics of debt that would affect its suitability as a means of financing acquisition of Electromart. So the scenario is simple. We are trying to take over a business. First thing, they are asking about the challenges, and second thing, they are asking what are the characteristics of debt. So this will be like a typical exam question, and for every question you will have a reference material. This is a reference material. Like we are discussing about conflict now. For conflict also, they'll give you why that conflict happened. Like in this case, we are acquiring this business. So details about that. Let's see. The board reviewed a proposal from John Peter, Director of Product Partnership, concerning a new line of refurbished high-performance laptop sourced from Electromart, a supplier operating in Eastland. So technically, we are looking for a new supplier to give us a better laptop. Remember, in reselling business, introduction also I told you that it's more about what products we are bringing in. What are the quality of the products? If it is a rare product especially, then we can charge a premium, isn't it? Originally manufactured by Tier 1 OEM. What is OEM? Original equipment manufacturer. The device have undergone advanced refurbishment and benchmarking, demonstrating a 10% improvement in processing efficiency over standard refurbishments. Okay, these are all technicality. You don't need to worry. In simple words, what they are saying in the first paragraph is, we have got a product which has demand in the market. Simple as that. Is it clear? Okay. Their premium quality supports a higher resale price and strong margin potential. How business works? Any business, especially in resale market, it's all about demand and supply, right? So we have more demand. That means we can charge premium. Yes or no? Everyone is going on mute.
Yes.
At least, yeah. Say your
Yes,
part.
yes.
Following this review, the board approved Electromart's offer to supply the laptops to Ressett. So this is the supplier.
But for the exam, can we draw the diagram of the demand and supply and explain it?
You want to draw a diagram?
Yeah, let's say like in the exam, if I'll show like equilibrium point between the demand and supply, and the
You
supply.
can explain the diagram, but to design, you will not have access to that. Plus, you'll have only 15 minutes to answer this. You will not have time.
Okay.
You have to be very, very quick. Then the current batch is now ready for market deployment. Sorry, the board has approved this. So if you see, this is all adding up to the knowledge. And when the examiner is giving this, they understand that you have a good understanding of the Preseen. They will not talk about, okay, what is our company doing and all. No, that's already understood. The board approved Electromart's offer to supply the laptops to Ressett's Northland distribution hub, aligning with the phase upgrade cycle initiated 3 years ago. The current batch is now ready to market deployment. This is a product curation. Okay, anyways, honestly, these are just the advantages of acquiring this business. But some of these points can help you for the answer. Okay, this is the last paragraph. Electromart has invested heavily in proprietary refurbishment protocols and maintains partnership with major or most major refurbishers. Because what happens when we are buying a used product, we have to refurbish it. Can we just sell it like this? Nobody will buy, right? We need to, make it look good or feel good. Even if it is a used product, customers won't buy with a scratch or if it is not properly clean, isn't it? Though not listed in the Eastland Stock Exchange, the company is wholly owned by Richard Trando, who inherited the business and continues to play an active role in strategic decision operation. So the company are planning to buy, they are not listed. Even we are not listed. But anyways, that is not the question here. Is the scenario clear in simple words?
Yes.
So what is the scenario here is, we have got a supplier who will give us a good laptop. And what is a good laptop meaning here? Which has a good demand in the market and it will give us better margin. Clear? That is the only importance from the pre-sheet, the reference model. Is that clear? Everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Abhijit, Mr. Prabhakar, Akhil.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So that's how typically your exam.
yes.
Now we'll see the question and we'll quickly have a look at the answer also. What was the first question? Discuss the challenges associated with predicting the cash. Now what they are saying, don't worry about these technical terms. In simple words, we are trying to buy a business. Why? Because it will give us better refurbished laptops to improve our profit. Simple as that. And to do that, we are using an NPV calculation. But now the board is thinking, any calculation we do, it has a downside. It's all theory, right? So the first question is that one. What are the challenges? Or you can say, what are the disadvantages? Just depending on this particular theory, theoretical approach. Does this make sense? Just imagine like it's your business, you are bringing or acquiring some new technology or acquiring a business, and now you are saying, okay, you have done theoretically showed me that this is profitable, but what are the disadvantages? How much I can trust? That will be your first question, isn't it? Because theory and practical is totally different. Hello?
Yes.
You're following, right, everyone?
Yes.
Then second is discuss the characteristic of debt. That is like, let's say the first one we are happy. Second is just about finance. What is debt means? When you take a loan, instead of taking an equity, you take a debt. Question is clear, everyone?
Yeah. We can also say
Yes.
like on the liabilities more than assets, then the company is close to the liquidation.
I mean, you can say, but we have to see what they have asked. If you see here,
Yeah.
it says answer guide, or we'll say suggested answer. Why? Because one scenario can have different answers. But anyways, before going to this answer, I'd like to know from you guys quickly. I know we have not discussed this topic. Logically, if you have to invest in any of this business, okay, and you're doing this type of calculation, what will be the disadvantage? What will be the challenge?
I think benchmarking, compare the one of the top company with the other companies.
So that is a solution. We are looking at the problems. What are the problems? What are the challenges?
The problem during the investing the money.
Yes, investing money depending on this particular method. Yes, Rakhil.
Yeah, Mr. From what I understand is actually we will be inching towards an huge initial investment, and that's going to be a challenge in the nearest working capital. So is that a good
Yeah,
challenge?
that's a good point. Yes, that makes sense. So you can say it can affect our working capital. Secondly, you can say it is a theoretical model. In practical, we face so much of challenges. In theory, it looks good, but in practical, it doesn't take care of risk. It doesn't take care of a lot of other things. And again, NPV is coming from our calculations, which can be biased.
So we need to show the repayment of interest and huge amount of interest and all, which will reducing our cash flow, right?
Yes, we can say that. So the question is simple. What are the challenges of reading the guide?
Maybe predict the future inflation, which can influence on the NPV by changes of the discount factor of cash flows.
Very good. Yes. These are all logical points, and this makes sense. Abhijit and Mr. Prabhakar, any point?
Low customer risk.
sir.
I mean, many customers still prefer the new brand instead of going with the refurbished product.
Right. So technically, we are doing only refurbish. We are not selling new. So, I mean, your point also makes sense, but you have to explain in such a way that there is no guarantee this plan will be successful. Though there is a demand and supply, but again, it's all theory. Unless we get business, we cannot say anything. So it's risky, you can say. And in risk, you can explain this. It's a risky venture. Because if it is refurbished and we are charging premium, then customers can go for the new laptop. Why they'll buy a refurbishment? That's what you mean, right?
Yeah, right.
Very good. That's correct. Yeah, Mr. Prabhakar?
See, pricing is a challenge here. You cannot really determine basis your margin what you want, because as you said, it's a refurbished product, and if they are going to compare or they're going to the real new market with the other facilities what they are giving, you might lose out. So in that case, there has to be a compromise on your pricing in terms of giving more discounts or rebates or giving more services at free of cost. So those are some additional challenges or costs which you have to incur. That's a risk of this one.
Got it.
Do I put it in much more better phrase this one?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay.
Because we are saying, we are justifying this investment, saying that it will give us margin. But your point is correct. And they are looking only the disadvantage, the challenges. They are not looking for any positive. So we don't need to be, writing any positive points here. We are wasting our time. We'll not get marks for that. Challenges means only challenges.
Right.
So margin is not guaranteed. If tomorrow the competitors also bring in, when we talk about supply and demand, we are assuming that competitors doesn't have it. Imagine everybody brings that same technology or same refurbish. Then we cannot charge premium. There is no way we can control our margins. Santhan, you are also welcome for the thoughts. You're comfortable. Or if you need time to settle down, you can take time. So yeah, so overall, the thoughts were correct. This is how the question works. We'll read one or two paragraphs of the suggested answer also to give you an idea. So this is how you start your answer. Who was emailing you? James. So you can say, dear James, please find below. It's just like replying an email. Simple as that. How you do at work or in the university, whatever. This question you don't need to copy in the answer sheet, but here we have taken just for the reference. This is where your answer actually starts. As Ressett evaluates the potential acquisition of Electromart, a critical step in determining NPV of investment, this requires forecasting future cash flows with high degree of accuracy. So this is just an introduction. It has a lot of challenges. What is the first challenge? Limited transparency or limited financial transparency. What is that? First is they are not listed. So if companies are not listed, the information is very much close. And maybe we have done some calculation which is not exact because of the limited information we have. If you see here, again, you don't need to copy this style of writing. You can keep in your simple words. Electromart is privately held and non-listed, which restrict access to audited financial statements and long-term performance data. The opacity makes it difficult to establish reliable historical baseline for forecasting future cash flows without standardized reporting assumption around revenue. So technically, in this entire paragraph, we are talking about how the finance cannot be trusted 100% because it is not listed and it's not been audited. Simple. Second, challenges is the business itself is driven by the owner. It's like one person doing everything. The business is closely managed by the founder, Richard Fernando, whose traditions and operational style may not align with our corporate governance norms. So one person is dominating the board. That is the another problem. Then third one is refurbishment protocol scalability. How much we can scale this model? We are investing a big amount of money, but it's not only for one time. We are looking for a long-term growth, isn't it? What we are saying,
Definitely.
scalability is not guaranteed, or we can say is untested. If quality or efficiency declines during scale up, margins expectations may not be met. And we already raised this margin point. Market acceptance. What if we launch this and by the time there is something new in the market? Because in electronics, things are very dynamic. Then another challenge is what we didn't discuss. I was expecting you guys to bring in that we are into different country and they are into different country. There is also another problem. Yes or no? Major problem. Currency risk.
Okay.
So this is how we have to give points and explain. Simple as that. It's not difficult. You have not done anything, but still you guys were able to give the points. And trust me, all these points were correct. You have reference here. That's where our business logic, business acumen come in. Make sense?
Yes.
Now we look at, and trust me, this was one of the difficult question. If you go to the second one, it was more easier. What are the characteristics of debt? This is very easy. Now you only tell me, you guys understand what is debt, right? When we take money from the banks. What are the characteristics of debt? You might have taken some personal loan also. Same characteristics.
Interest rates might vary, so that's a risk. So you agree on one period, and certain times there is a clause where they say in Indian your interest rates are subject to RBI's regulation of increasing their rates. Also, slight points increase or decrease can affect an extent. Maybe the materialistic value can be a little lower, but it has an impact. If you are going on a fixed term, if you are going on a those type of interest rate purchase.
Okay.
So adding to this, if you are taking the loan from unsecured loan, I mean, so the interest rates are very high compared to secured loans. Like we have nationalized banks as well, and we have some private banks. So private banks giving us the higher rate of interest compared with the nationalized bank.
You are saying nationalized bank is giving a better rate.
Yeah.
Okay, that is about selecting the point. You can talk about that. But what are the characteristics for that? Technically, why they're asking this is we must be thinking to take equity or debt. Then we said like debt is a better option. But to take a final decision, they're asking you. The finance director is asking you whether we should go with the debt. So they're asking what are the characteristics. So in characteristics, you have to talk about the advantage and disadvantage both. Previous one, they used the word challenges. They were looking at the disadvantage. But here, they are looking at both. What are the advantages of raising debt?
Your money is, you receive it faster. The time it takes to get the money for operating the business is a little faster when you compare to raise an equity and gets formalized and then it's sold out. So that time gap is saved if you're going for a debt. Ms. Am I right in telling this?
Yes, you are correct.
Right. So then you have the advantages, the cost or the time spent for raising a debt may be relatively lesser when you have, if it's going for unsecured loan or a short-term credit, those OD facilities. Whether when you go for an equity, the procedures and the norms are different. So the time you spent is relatively higher. So administratively, that challenge is mitigated if you go for a debt, or it is lesser. This is advantage.
Right. What else is the advantage?
Misbah, can I go for one?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so considering this scenario, so we are entering into a new like system. The company is planning to do something new, and which is the input or the inflow is not guaranteed in the future, in the nearest or immediate future. So considering that, we have a fixed repayment of loan, we have a fixed outflow, so that will definitely going to affect the uh, stability of the working capital. So that is one challenge I can see.
Right. You are missing the simpler advantage I was looking, tax benefit. To take debt, you have tax benefit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Why we are overthinking?
Got it.
And what are the disadvantages? Disadvantages, fixed commitment. Every year, whatever happens, you have to give them
Correct.
the interest. Then second is they might have the covenants. Don't do this, do that. I mean, this sounds very basic, but this will give us marks, and that's what they are looking at. Yes, Amir.
So I think the main disadvantage is that when you can't pay the money for the company, I mean, pay back like the debts, then they'll take your assets.
If you don't
And
pay, they take the assets. You are saying.
if you don't pay like the debt, then they'll take out your assets from the company instead
Yes,
of paying.
worst case scenario, yes.
Also, like they have like reduced financial flexibility, which means like invest into new opportunities. Let's say in the market they can find something, diversification of the product, or like invest the money into a new product. So they can do it because they first of all need to pay out for the debt.
Right.
And maybe the last one is impact on credit worsens.
Right.
One more disadvantage we have. If you are not paying in time, it will affect to our CIBIL rating. Our CIBIL score will get
Yeah, company's credit rating can
decrease.
get affected.
Credit worsens, yeah.
So in future we will not get any loans easily.
Which means we will have like the bad reputation of the company.
Right. That's it. We have to write here. You're absolutely correct. See, we have done one question. So this is easier only. Here, what points we have: fixed payment obligations, interest rate exposure, collaterals are there. It's all logical points only. Only thing is we have to elaborate, and there's just one challenge is we have to apply to the scenario. When I say it's logical, students might write or end up writing theoretical answer. No, we have to apply to the scenario. Don't forget our business. Don't forget our business model, our industry, all of that.
So Misbah, one question.
Yeah.
So once we are answering the second question, we should understand, as you said, we should consider the current scenarios, which country and what is the tax percentage, how much is it will be the tax benefit. So we should mention that rates like that. We should answer that, right?
Yes. So as if you are actually working in this company, and how you'll answer to your director like that.
Okay, how much accuracy that we can give to the answer, which should be more valued, right?
Yes. I hope it gives some clarity now on the mocks and the question.
Yes, Mr.
Okay. Let's go back to the summary now. I know it won't be 100% clear now because we have not done it. But the aim was just to give you a clarity what is we are trying to achieve.
Got it. Got it.
Okay, so let's start now. Let's start the presentation. This is the first page, introduction, and I would say the most important page. Ressett is a company name. So from now on, you are working for Ressett. You should be into that mindset. Even after the class, you'll be thinking, okay, where do you work? I work in Ressett. So this, the funny part here, or I would say the best part here is, you don't need to always sit with the books or the notes. Even if you're traveling or you're sitting idle, you're like meditating, whatever you do silently, or you're traveling, driving, on the back of the mind, you can have this. Okay, I'm running an e-commerce business. How I can improve that? Always ask two questions to yourself. One is how you can improve the revenue, and second is how you can reduce the expenses. And your
What
mind
you said, sorry, what you said last time, how improve revenue and
reduce your expenses, the cost,
reduce expenses, yeah, cost.
and both are taking you towards profit. Remember, we are for profit business. For example, increasing revenue, you can go into new market, you can bring in new products, and for cost, what you can do, you can automate, or maybe you can have less employees, or you can negotiate better with the supplier. I'm just giving you a start. These two questions you should always ask yourself when you're thinking about the business. Don't just think, okay, I'm from finance manager, finance department, I'll just take care of that. No, you are the leader, you are running the show. Think from that perspective. Okay.
One more point, Mr. Just it's striking me.
Yeah.
On the previous, when we were discussing about the advantages of debt and equity, one of the disadvantages for a debt is once you take it, you are bound to make the money payment. Otherwise, you will end up having more cost and more risk. When case of business adversities or any business adversity going down, which is unexpected, you cannot say that I can't pay the interest, because you will have to pay because it is agreed. So you will end up paying more money in spite of getting a return on investment. Returns are there. Your sales is lesser, but your interest is continuing to be more because of the market condition. We can't go back to the financial institution and say that market condition is bad, so I can't pay you the interest. We have to go for it, right? That's a risk.
A fixed commitment.
A fixed commitment, yeah, if I had to put it precisely right. Okay. Sorry, I'm just thinking back what you were saying. So suddenly it struck me. That's why I asked whether it is right or wrong.
No problem. So, that should give you guys so much of confidence. This is just the first time we are looking at the mock and you are able to give a lot of points. Because it's more logic. I would say it's logic, or we can say business logic. So two questions I have said should be there in the mindset. It's more about the mindset. Ressett buys, now let's start. Ressett buys new and used personal computers and related products for resale to individuals. So they have used the word new. It's not like always we are buying only used. We also buy new, but that is not our primary business. Primary business buying the used one. But if you buy a new, because what happens if you just understand the psychology of human being, if you are buying something of used in any shop or any brand, and the same place, if you have to buy new one, will not be very happy, or our mind will doubt, okay, is it a new product or used one? Therefore, Amazon, what they have done, they have launched Amazon Renewed with a new brand. Why? Because that section is only on the used product. Why they are not mixing the both one? Because people will have doubt, and will reduce the value for the new ones also. So what we are doing, personal computers and related products. What are the related products? Personal computers, laptop, tab, What else?
Pen drive? No.
Hard disk
Maybe
or
peripherals that
monitors.
can come in.
Hard disk.
Hard disk and all, they have given the Preseen, but honestly, it's more into the government offices nowadays. At personal level, people don't buy this pen drive, hard disk, and all. We are putting all in drive.
Power bank.
Yes, power bank can also be there. But just think of it. Give me 1 second, okay? I'll be back in like half a minute. You guys think about what all includes in this. Okay, give me one. Yes. So what all it includes? Computer, laptop, tablets, printers, all the things we are selling. However, if you talk about just electronics, the list can be very big. So maybe, when I say like increasing revenue options, that can primarily come from adding more products. But if you add more products, we can lose focus on this sector. We can sell so many things. E-commerce, we have what we need is just warehouse. We have a website, we can invest in the website and have better technology. But what we can struggle is about the warehousing and the logistics. In fact, if you look at the real world companies, for example, again, Amazon is the first example that comes to our mind. Why they are successful? Because they have in-house logistics, they have in-house warehouse, everything. Can you imagine a company who just have the website and they have outsourced logistics? It's very rare to succeed because the entire experience goes away. There was one company in India called First Cry. So First Cry is a company which started online first, then they came offline later. So when they started First Cry, the biggest problem they were facing was an e-commerce platform. Nobody was delivering. Basically, for whom you don't know, for those of you who don't know, First Cry is selling kids clothing. Because in India at that time we don't have a brand for kids. It was very unorganized market. So they tried to organize and bring in some brands. So they were struggling because they don't have any logistic partner for delivery. They were taking up to a week, and obviously customers don't want to wait so much. So what they did, they started their logistic company to support their business. But the problem was there for all other e-commerce platform also. So the funny part was their logistics company became a unicorn, a success before the First Cry becoming a success, their main business. But eventually, they did good in both the sectors. So they were trying to solve the problem. I hope it makes sense. Okay. So we sell this for resale to individual, corporate, and public sector customers. So we are B2C, that is consumer, B2B, and B2G. What is the different strategy we follow when we are into B2C, B2B, and B2G? What is the strategy we follow? Just think what kind of different approach we need to follow logically when you're selling to individual, when you're selling to other corporates, or when you're selling to the government. Just think if your company has bought something, or as an individual if you bought, how is a different experience?
Selling to an individual, the modalities or the risk or the ways might be very easier or different when you compare to when you sell it to the corporates. For example, if I have to sell it to an individual on computer, maybe today I can just take one, get their PAN number or a card or other whatever it is, and I can ship taking the address. But if I have to get into an agreement when to the business, if you're going to sell it to a corporate, which will be large in numbers, then it calls for a proper valid purchase order. Then it also we have to get the company's credit terms has to be agreed. So many things are there, and the risk associated might be a little different when it comes to logistics or transport, all those issues, which is lesser from an individual. So each type of category, it has its plus and minus, right?
Yeah. So can you suggest what strategy should be there, or what we need to consider first for individual, then for corporates, then for government? What we should do?
Before going to strategy, can we just list down the issues which we will be facing in the both three categories?
What are the issues? What is the last thing?
Issues that we are going to face once we are doing business with these three different verticals. So, for example, what I meant to say is, so customer and government projects. Correct me if I'm wrong. That we cannot forecast like in a go or easier way. So B2B, which will give you more sales or fixed revenue or the sales, but the profit margin will be very low. And in government, for the government projects, it will be based on the projects and the forecasting for this project. It's going to be very difficult. And customers say the inflow will be, the profitability will be high. Also, the inflow will be not in terms of we should not consider any interest term or payment. We will get the money as soon as the sales is done. So these are the three types of issues and opportunities that we will face in 3 verticals. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anywhere.
No, I mean, it makes sense. So when you talk about strategy, there is nothing right or wrong. Every company
Yeah.
will have a different approach. For example, if you're selling for individual, we'll have a different marketing channels. Let's say Instagram, we are using, social media we are using. When we are selling to the corporate, we are publishing in corporate events. We are sponsoring events. We are part of magazines. And again, every industry have their own events, right? Or they have forums. So we will be part of that. We can sponsor that. Then when it comes to government, we'll try to build them relationship with them doing CSR, or again sponsoring government events. This how we can get in business. And again, how we service that business is totally different. After sales commitment, discount, then two customers, same product will not be in a same price. It will be different. In government, you have to have lower margin. Corporate, you can have a higher margin. But the expectation of corporate can be higher in terms of product sophistication or after sales service. Plus,
Second, financial management, sorry to interrupt here. So maybe it's very
Yes.
different. When it comes to government agencies, your DSO might be higher when compared to an individual. That means when I say day sales outstanding, because government does, when you say making a sale, to get the money back, it will take more time. Vis-a-vis when you sell it to an individual, you can get it faster. With stringent terms, they might you will be able to attract. But here, we have to be more flexible to government agencies. And same with corporate also. So in that case, working capital management also is a little challenge, and it varies according to the business model, which is to whom we are selling it. So that's how it is.
right, right.
Wow. See, this is one challenge, or this I can say, but advantages is maybe government agencies will give you more orders if you are okay to manage with the lesser, higher DSO. You're able to manage and provide them services. You might get more business, showing that you might have a more sales on the corporate or other regions in terms of showing the trustworthiness you have built with the government, and thereby increasing sales in the other areas. It has its own way. How we project and how we take it is also one of the strategy we can use.
Very good point. So government is more for creating the trust.
More for trusts.
If government is trusting, then private players say okay, because when you go to any company's website, or they will showcase our trusted client or clientele.
Exactly.
That's where our business and sales. So we need to show our sales skill also. Understanding of the sales, little bit of marketing. Yeah.
When we're building sales, maybe for corporates also, over a period, if it's new one, when we are going, we should build more referenceable clients by providing more flexibility in terms of giving rebates or increasing credit period. So the more the referenceability, the longer terms, it helps you brings in more sales. You get that way, business to business for corporates will help.
Yes. Here itself, we are discussing half of the patient because this is ultimately important. Okay. It buys these in bulk and resells at price that are significantly cheaper than the price charged by conventional retailers for the latest brand new computers. So technically, our business model is we are passing on the value to the customer. What kind of value? Financial value. We are saving money for them by giving them the same features and as good or as new products. It's not new, it's as new product, as good as new. So we have to make sure that we are constantly lower than the conventional retailers.
One way of looking at it is one more point, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. For individual segment, to attract more individuals, rather than giving them the full product, yesterday we discussed, we should look at concept of renting out laptops, renting out of printers, where if it's a small scale business, so they don't need to invest and they can use it for period where paying them fixed rent. So you get your money and your asset is also on your own. So business model can change for individuals to attract more business. Ways of different sales rather than giving them on cash or credit, give them rent. So in that way, you're you're creating one more avenue for revenue. Same thing I'm telling different, but is it okay, Ms. Bar? Correct?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay.
So we have to, and remember, our business in resale is all about buying rather than selling. Selling is obviously
Right.
there, but selling anyways give us a edge. We are
Right.
cheaper than the market.
Right.
But what gives us competitive edge here, or we are better than the competition, is if we buy cheap. And to constantly buying cheap is a very big challenge. Therefore, we have to look for ways, and that's the reason that question came in. We went to a different country altogether to buy that because they have better products at a cheaper price. So keep this in mind. When we say increasing revenue and decreasing costs, so the primary cost saving will come from buying cheaper products. How can we buy a cheaper? But remember, when you say the word cheaper, it's not about cheaper in quality. This word is
Competitive.
negative. You know.
We can say competitive pricing.
Sorry.
We can say competitive pricing rather than saying
Yes.
cheaper.
I mean, we all got biased when somebody says, "I'll give you for cheap." We'll think,
Exactly.
this is like, less in quality. But the same thing they say, "I'll give you less price." We're like, okay, fine. There was some funny line I was looking. It's written as a video. It said, if you sell the same thing and you use the words differently, it will give a different meaning. For example, if you say cheap tires for sale, then people will not come. But if you just write the same thing, tires for cheap, then people will come and buy. It's just the different perception. So here cheaper means we are getting a better price. How we can make sure that we are getting it for less? Because the word here is resell at a price that's significantly cheaper.
Right.
So we are selling like 30-40% less, and obviously they are the new ones. But at the same time, how we can make sure that we firstly get the products in bulk. Secondly, it is a discounted price. Thirdly, it is the product that is in demand. Imagine we got something, let's say we are getting iPhone X now, 10, iPhone 11. I don't think a lot of buyers are there. Maybe they are there. I don't have the data. So database buying we need to do. If you buy something in bulk at discount, and we later came to know that nobody's ready to buy that, and we can't even send it back. So that is all trash now. Is e-waste sitting now. Or in any business, how we can negotiate or how we can get a better deal. Hello.
We can see to get more better deals, we can offer them some tiered discounts and also flexible pricing. See, like today, when I say tiered discount, I give you a product for price which you're offering, but you pay me against my payment term of 45 days. You pay the money in 20 days, I'll give you a discount of 4%, 5%, something of that said. Attracting the more customers by providing them flexi discounts and flexible pricing. So you will get more people, individuals, corporates also, when you negotiate on pricing. That's what I try to tell.
That is on the price side, selling. Here
Right,
the challenge is about buying. The question is about buying. Buying is a challenge here. Where you can buy in bulk at a better
Okay,
price.
sir.
So from the suppliers.
Right.
What kind of supplies? Where you'll get the supplies from? So do the
So
research.
it depends, like if you have supplies for long term, then you can discuss them about the price to get like something cheaper. That's the first thing. The second thing is try to find the supplies from the other markets. That's the second thing. And the last one is to maybe make like joint venture, make a joint venture and give like some of the percentage for the suppliers and maybe join with them, which reduce the price for the production. However, you need to pay like out of your profit some of the percentage for them, which will make the problem in financial consolidation maybe in the future.
Right.
So you can expand your purchasing. Sorry, go ahead, Mr. Sorry.
No, continue.
So you can expand your purchasing on by getting more, but going outside the region. See if you're confined to only a list of registered suppliers within one region, you can look at buying from outside the country. If I go, how much I'm getting benefit or how much is the value. If I convert and if I buy it at a one time, what is the major discount I can get? So eventually it can break out. So expanding your horizon, not within restricting to your region will help in getting more. Where you can maybe the same product for might outside your country might be sold at a lesser rate, so I can get more. If I convert, if I go out, for example, I can tell you for TVs itself, if you buy in Singapore or your overseas market, there used to be where it used to be cheaper, but same product when you come to India, it was at a higher rate. Now things have changed; it is more or less less, but there are still certain products where when you go out of India and you buy and come, it is lesser rather buying in India.
Right. Because of the tax and everything.
Oh, yes. For laptops itself, I know. See, people when they travel to US, we have people go and they ask them to get more laptop with latest configuration, which in dollars it is lesser. So when you come back, even when it is launched here, the rates are going to be more higher than this when you buy there. One example I can say is Apple. When you buy actually outside India, it is cheaper rather than buying in India.
But again, as an individual, we can do, but as a business, it can be difficult.
So
So
the example what I'm saying is right. You're right. It is difficult. See, I'm saying when since yours is more of resale, you want to stock up more products by going outside and buying more, and then you can release it here with a lesser rate. That may be helpful.
Right. So we need to find a way in special. For example, in India, we have a regulation that if the products are coming from outside, I think the regulation was if something is 5,000 rupees locally, that is like I think 50 pounds. We can say less than 50 pounds, the tax was not there, or it was a very small 5% tax. And if it is a bigger thing, they will be taxing like 18% something like that. So what these suppliers were doing, they were selling everything, sending everything in a smaller pieces, not a combined TV because it was more than 5,000 rupees or 50 pounds, right? So they'll bring in small things and assemble here to save the tax.
You are talking about the custom duty or what?
Custom duty, yes.
Okay.
Instead of sending an entire refrigerator or TV, it was sent separately. And now a team here will just take a screwdriver and just fix it to save the custom duty. So international supplies can definitely help us, but we need to find a company who can do that for us. We'll find an evading tax can be illegal and ethical also. Even avoiding tax, we need to find how we can do it ethically.
And Ms. One thing actually, can we consider this point for a discussion because I am not sure about it. But this has come from my personal experience where I worked in a hospital for a unit, and we used to have a n number of vendor list for the purchase. So considering that, for example, a regional wise, if you have a combined purchase team at least for a region base, so that will bring the quantity of purchase will be huge. So on the volume, we can demand for some reduced rates from the suppliers, right? So can we discuss something on this topic?
Valid. We can have a vendor list, and based on that, if you're buying on bulk, automatically we can get certain discount. Yes, possible. However, we need to have a different strategy because in this industry, the products what we need can be rare. We cannot predict the demand because where these used products are coming from, maybe people are selling it, or it is from the shops which they use as a demo product, which are refurbished. So sometimes, especially the key products or the demand products can be rarely available. So we need to have a different strategies. We cannot just depend on one kind of suppliers. Maybe locally also we can get, internationally also we can get. Ideally, I would say do some research. We have that in industry analysis, but you can do your own research also to understand how these companies are actually getting their suppliers. Okay, moving on. Ressett is based in Lamland. Lamland currency is $8. So Lamland is a fictional country. You can just take it as UK because CIMA is UK based. But they won't ask you any specific questions, so you don't need to worry about that. Even with the number, this is for comparing. You can take this as a US dollar or pound. This is just to see how big the company is. Otherwise, there is no calculation. They might give you like we need like 10 million or 100 million $L for investment, but that is just about to select a financing option and everything. You don't need to worry how much it is worth. Then Lamland company requires companies to prepare their financial statements according to IFRS. Doing with IFRS is important. It helps in comparison. And secondly, IFRS is part of our syllabus. We have like F2 that is focusing on IFRS. So these are some of the IFRS that is important. 15, 10, 38. So as per the business, we'll go through all of them as a textbook, but we don't need to, master everything. Because as a manufacturing business, there are certain things that are important. As a service business, there are other things that are important. So once we know the pre-scene, that is the advantage. If you compare to November attempt in February, in November we got the pre-scene close to the exam. So that time we have to do everything. But now we know the pre-scene and industry, so we can focus on the specific areas. Then you are finance manager at Ressett head office. So what is the role and responsibility of finance manager? Again, if you compare to the real world, it can be different, but here it is very specific. So what they are saying, evaluate opportunities to add value. These are the 5 responsibility of finance manager. Opportunities to add value means you have to add value in so many ways. What is adding value? For example, if you have reduced the cost of a company, you have added financial value. You have talk about conflict. That is also adding value. Adding value can be financial also, non-financial also. Sometimes it can be just perceived value, goodwill of a company. That is also adding value. Next is implement senior management decision. If you see this next line, your primary responsibilities are associated with management accounting and you report to James. Who is James? James is senior finance manager who is working with finance director. Finance director is someone who is part of the board. So senior management means whatever the board is deciding, you have to implement that. Or maybe you might have to help them to take certain decisions. For example, the mock question we just discussed. They wanted to acquire that business, and why they found it useful because they did NPV analysis. So you are helping them to identify the challenges. Next is manager performance to cost, and performance and cost to add value. What is management performance? Or even managing performance, measuring performance is like the matrix, KPIs we put, or balance scorecard, financial, non-financials, or giving and targets to individual. Manage also and measure also. How you manage is, if you measure, you can manage it properly. So both are interconnected. For example, number of sales target we have given to sales team, or how we can put, okay, how we can make sure that our company is competitive. This buying and everything is for us, but for a customer, why they will come to our website? Now think like a customer. Why they should visit your website? First is better pricing. Even before that, before pricing, it's more about the product mix. What kind of products you have? Why they will choose us over others?
Value.
Yeah. So what kind of value we are bringing in? How we are bringing in?
Providing a premium quality at a competitive pricing when compared to the other new. When you're buying a new product, you might have certain facility which you can bring it, give it to this one. It might add value to them or lesser price.
Yes.
Just an example. In that way, also values provide some flexible payment terms, giving them value so that it helps them to buy and they can pay a little later at negotiated discount prices.
Yes. And even with the pricing, first is about the product. People should get what they are looking for.
You show them variety.
We showed them variety. For example, why people go to a supermarket? Because they get a right product mix. Then the pricing is the second one. They don't want to go in so many places. So they are also very clever in basic necessities. They will say milk and all of this at a cheaper price. Then other places they'll charge premium.
Right.
That's their business model. So for us also, we need to keep that products which is on demand, which is on trending. For example, people want to buy a certain model which is not easily available, so it should be there on our website. Or people want quick delivery, so we have that product that can be delivered fast. Or if it is B2B deal, what they are looking at is after sales service, trust.
Right.
So this is what about measuring performance and managing performance. Constantly, it's not just one time we have that product. Nobody will come to us. Price, everything is secondary. First is what is the product offering. Then the last one is manage internal external stakeholders. Who are our stakeholders? Can you name few stakeholders?
Auditors, customers,
Auditors.
external,
Your suppliers,
external,
customers,
Okay.
then employees, then your board, management board, you
Yes.
manage. The external are your suppliers and customers, and internal is your management, your board members, then your employees.
Right. So we'll need to make a list of 20 stakeholders, what is the power and interest, and how we can mitigate that. This simple exercise will help us to understand in a better way. So we have discussed a lot of things here. Make sure we are not forgetting this, or we are going from this mindset. Main thing is you have to leave this role. You have to think about reset. You have to always think about creating value for the business in whatever way, not just from the financial perspective. Okay, what are the products line we are selling? We are selling desktop. So they have given what desktop is. A desktop computer is modular high performance computing system. You don't need to write this in exam, just for our understanding. Laptop, what are laptops? Tablet, peripherals, consumables. Technically, peripherals and all of this, even consumables, the demand has gone down, especially in the individual consumer. But I believe in the corporate, still they need a lot of printers, isn't it? In government offices, they do need printers. So there is a decent demand. If it is not increased, but at least the stable demand is there. What do you guys think? Do you have printers in your office? Paper, printer?
Printers usage consumption has come down actually.
It's
No,
come
not
down but not
really.
eliminated.
No, they're not fully eliminating, but very, very few. There are
Right.
days where I can tell each process which we had printers. Now I can see it's almost one section of the entire floor we have one printer. Not everybody uses because everything is digitized. So your archival retrieval of records, everything is in share drive or common SharePoint. You don't need printers where you take printout, store files, and do this one. So not everywhere, but as you said, government offices still uses printers and they are using it. Even there now they are sending messages for if you go for government offices and all, you pay tax and all those things. They do send message soft copies as well. If you want, you can take printouts.
Right. There is like in a decline phase. So we can't
It's
depend on that.
and see that's why we have to maybe change with the pace. We have to
Yes.
look at some other products and how we can improve retail.
Or maybe this can be just niche. Sometimes what happen if it is declining, nobody is doing it. Why can't we just do and have a market in that? That is also a good strategy. As a business, if you see for cash flow, if nobody is doing it, we can do it. Even if it is a smaller market,
Yes.
and if nobody is doing, we can do it at premium. Now, main points if you consider about our business model, as Ressett resembles the role of middleman, how is the veracity and the condition of personal computer ensured? Technically, we are a middleman. We are creating value in such a way that we are arranging a product for the consumer. And for a supplier, they cannot sell in bulk to everyone. So we are, segregating according to the demand, according to the needs. Now, post-sale service or after-sale service become an important thing here. Why people are buying from us? To be honest, especially individual players, they can get it cheaper if they buy it directly from the seller, and they don't need to go there. They can buy from WhatsApp groups, they can buy from Facebook. We have Facebook marketplace, that's free, isn't it? But why people will come to Ressett? Because of our brand, because of our after sales service, because of the trust. So we need to give certain certification. We need to reject certain product which is not of decent quality, and we need to give some basic 90 days, 100 days at least, depending on the industry average. Excuse me. Then how does Ressett cater to this individual's need of both commercial and domestic setting? Can unique preferences be addressed? So we have discussed this. What is our target customer group? So in this also we have to see in business also what kind of business. It is a small, medium, or a very big corporate you are targeting. Then government also, we are looking local government, state government, central government, because all of them will have different budgets, right? How we can target our consumer? Do you have any idea?
Sorry, Misbah, how can we?
Target our consumer group. Like in B2B also we can have different category, B2G also, and individuals also.
Targeting the customers for the for our organization is the like best prices that we are giving or the lesser
Yeah, I mean that
prices.
is our pricing. The main thing is, or we can change the question is about how we can identify, because every government office is not a client or customer. Every B2B, every business cannot be our consumer, customer.
So
Yes,
yeah, so you ask how can we target on our customers? So first of all, as we know, this is like the main responsibilities of the marketing department side, which is we should analyze the fully market of the customer's age. Let's say like we have from 1180s till the 99. And we know like now all of them they prefer to specify the product. So let's say if you want to target, we need to make a deep analysis how many people use them, and how many of them do not prefer to use it. And let's say like older people don't prefer to use e-commercial like the product, then we need to try to make for them like the unique or specific another product from the same company, like make something differentiate from the other competitors. And also the second thing, we can use like the sample surveys, go out of the on the street and try like ask the question from the random people, like or take the bias, even like bias, which means like ask from the old people, only from the old people.
See, it is like I think create marketplace in social media, like your Insta, Facebook, all this conduct service, and throw flashes of pop-ups asking certain questions, and coming out with some data collection where you will see how is the taste and what is the preference. Accordingly, we can match and tap customers.
Yes, Rakesh.
You mean to say we can build the trust through ratings and reviews? We can take the ratings and reviews from the customers and uh, uh, improve accordingly.
Okay. To everyone, I'm trying to give you an hypothetical situations, and am I audible, right?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah. So, for example, so we need to sell our product. We need to buy our product. So I'm considering only the secondary market, or the resale market. So, what? So if so, for example, Misbah having a different perspective of looking into a laptop. For example, me looking for a laptop which should serves my basic stuff. So that won't be the case with the Misbah, right? So if it is possible, if we can provide an application onto your system, and whether from there we can check the health on how much healthier your laptop is, and considering that if Misbah want a laptop which will serve for the next 5 years without any faults, and we can our organization can provide some sort of a software or application that can check the laptop's life and compare with their individual customers use case, and from there our company itself can have the different policies that, so up to this level of laptop, if you submit here, so we're getting this much of amount. And for that we have another options as well, to like we have this bunch of laptops which will give you definitely going to serve for 5 years, so you can get an update from the refurbished laptop itself. So that kind of policies in a higher level, if you can build, and like it's more about serving a community, so getting laptop from one group and serving to the different consumers. So that kind of community, if you can build from a consumer level at a very top level, so that will be going to be more beneficial in the way of selling the product as well as the procurement of the product. So can we consider that?
Yeah, makes sense. Because obviously it's used, and you said a very good point. What is the use case? If your corporate is buying, they're looking for long term, and maybe if it is an individual, they are looking for a medium term.
Yeah.
Based on that, also.
So that will help us in procurement as well as the supply. So we will just matching the customers for the right laptop, and once we own the good refurbishing unit as our own.
Makes sense. And obviously, we need to categorize also. Like I was saying previously, not everyone can be our customer. We need to be very much targeted in our marketing. Nowadays, we have that tools in social media, everything. For example, now we are talking. I'm sure after this class, you'll get advertisement, because now we are being constantly listened by these devices. So a lot of target marketing is happening, and that is saving the cost. In fact, if you have heard a company called Densu International, they're listed in London. So his finance director did a CIMA with me only. So he was saying, I think it was last year or last to last, in that particular year, they've acquired almost 200 to 300 companies. And it was like, why so much? He said just one reason, because of big data. We're getting information so we can do a target market. And they read the cost and benefit analysis, it was worth it. And now if any customer comes to them, they are adding more value because they have got insight. So instead of looking at everyone, we are more precise now. So we only market to whom, which can be a customer. So the conversion rate is higher for the companies. They are getting better results. So companies like this also we can use for marketing purpose. Or we can follow their strategy at least. Then do the retailers have, for retailers and wholesale purpose, whom does Ressett source from? Does the retail market only after personal come to after sales, impact on consumer profiles? It's not a problem. We can go into certain niche like gamers, computer. Gaming is a very big community now globally. So we can have a specific laptop, or we can just change the configuration of a normal laptop to make it compatible with the games. But again, that is a smaller thing. We cannot depend on that. This can be something to attract the customers. And once they come in, they can buy other products also from us. Now we can do targeting for the tablet, who use tablets, who use peripherals. What is the use for that? Now, if you look in the Lamland, they have given us certain numbers. Where in 2025, if you see, the demand is slightly reduced, but overall it's not that bad. If you see in millions, it's in billion, 7 billion. 7 billion is a big number, or we can say 7.5 billion. And if you see, we are expecting it to stay constant for the next 2 years. Honestly, if I tell you, I used to think the market is not that big, but once I see the pre-seen and everything, I realize 7 billion, we are thinking people are buying only new, but there is a good demand for the reused product. And that's the reason companies like Amazon has come into this. Otherwise, why they need to come in, right? Second-hand is a very big market and will stay to be a very big market in the future. So it doesn't look like we have to go into new products to make this business more profitable. We are making profit now. In the same thing, if we grow, or at least we increase our market share, we can be a better. And to be honest, it looks like it is less competitive to sell in the used market than the new one. What do you guys think? So if you go into the new one, you might have to do manufacturing. But here, the business model is simple. We just buy, do some configuration, sell. It's more like a trader. Otherwise, we have to bring our own brand. We have to do our own manufacturing. And electronics is very, very difficult business to go in if you want to, make your own brand from the scratch. Right? Consider that point also. They have given us a demographic as well. So we have customers from 16 years to 75 plus. So the highest one is 16 to 17-year-old. So obviously they must be buying more of a mobile phones. And why they are more? I believe because they are looking for the cheaper phones, and maybe this is their first phone, so they just want to start with. Later on, once they start earning, they might go for a newer ones. Maybe it's just a guess. What do you guys think? Sorry, it's not a laptop. They are saying PC owners. Maybe this is for the assignments. That may be the reason. School, university assignments. So how these demographics can be used? It can be used in different ways for marketing, for reaching out to the people, communication, after sales service, ordering of our new products, the configuration. For example, if somebody is in 65 to 74-year-old, last two categories, maybe they are not looking for latest trend. They just need to have a basic computer to do their work. But if somebody is in 25 to 44, they are looking for everything up to date, because they are using it maximum. They need the latest software, latest hardware and everything. How else we can use this information?
For target marketing.
Yeah, target marketing we discuss. What else? Or how we can do a better target marketing? Any example or strategy you have?
Basically, because since we have the demographic, so we will be able to know which category of people are interested in which type of products. So we would be specific in marketing to those individuals or those age groups. Like for example, when we say 16 to 17 years old, as you said rightly, it may be their first computer. So definitely they are looking for slowly to graduating over it. Now they cannot afford it, but they want a computer. So that's why that age group is higher. Whereas at the ages of 45 to 54, he needs a heavier laptop because now he has the money and the purchasing power to buy. So the second category is that where you could target, because now you can give them a high-end computer, little as new model or almost a new model or the latest version, you can easily target for them because they have the money capacity to buy. They are stable market. So in those ways, we'll have to define strategies for different age groups and target on that one.
Right, makes sense.
So adding to
Apart from
that,
marketing, what else? Yeah.
our marketing in the right platform is also we can make a strategy. So 16 to 7 years better we can give the advertisements in the social media. So 25 to 34 we can go for the email based marketing. So that kind of strategy also we can consider. Does
Apart
that
from
make sense?
marketing, what else can we use of this information? Demographics.
Income source,
Pricing.
maybe
How much we can price? Yes, income, pricing, affordability. Where you can have an
affordability.
affordability. It should give you an idea. Where do you think people can afford the most?
Like 25 and above till
Yeah,
54, I think that is the most slab where I
an
think people
ideal.
are. Yeah.
So if
Can you
some
repeat the question,
new
please?
products is there, new features is there, so we should target this one. We cannot go and market to a 16-year-old or a 65-year-old. So same information or same data we can use in so many ways. Then dominance of PCB. This is just a technical. They won't ask all of this in the exam. This is for our understanding. Usually it's the processor, graphics. This is like a differentiator. Memory, storage, network, and all of this. This is the determining factor why people will choose certain models. So what you can say here is we should have experts available to analyze the situation, understand the situation, and decide. Or basically, when you say buying in bulk, bulk is not about just buying for a discounted price or whatever is available. We should see what is the differentiator we are creating. Then 1 second, we'll go to the We can look at it from the pre-scene. Yeah, so we discuss about this desktop and laptop. What is it? I mean, it's very basic. What it is, how it works. Very basic. Revenue also we have discussed. We're discussing about the ownership. So after ownership, it's about the power of computers. How the power of computer is determined. Processor. Again, this is not from exam perspective. This is for our understanding. So we can have the best graphic cards, or we can improvise. Sometimes what happen, it is an older model, but we can just update the graphic card, or we can do some changes to make it more effective. Especially when you talk about the gamings. Like here they have mentioned some applications including games and video editors require powerful graphic processor. So how we can put in our exam answer is like we can change some of the models, and we can make it more tailored for the needs for gaming or for specific use. What will matter? Storage matters, memory matters, connection matters. PC manufacturers maintain revenues by launching new and upgraded models on regular basis. So how a new place? So one thing we didn't discuss yet is we are dependent on the new place. When the new model comes in, this is where we can also do the change. We are not the tech provider here. So technically, we need to understand how the new products also work. How often they are launching new one. For example, mobile. If you see, Apple is launching every year. Samsung is also launching every year. Sometimes they launch more than one products in a year, because Samsung is into differentiator also. They are into cost leader also. Same thing. We need to understand what is happening in the laptop. What is happening in the personal computers, and what kind of changes they are coming in. Sometime purposely, a company will just give small changes in the new model, because they are also going out of innovation. Every year coming up with something new and charging a premium can be difficult. And electronics depreciation is also very high. At least we can say 20% per year. It can be more also. This line is very important. Users may not feel it necessary to buy more powerful PCs unless their existing machines are struggling to run the latest software. So we should have some data. How long people use their computers? Let me ask AI now. I'm just trying to see how long. All of this can help us to give an insight. So it says that the average laptop lasts between 3 to 5 years, though this can vary depending on quality of hardware, how it is used. So we can say it's 4 to 5 years. What do you guys think? How long you have been using your laptop, or your friends, family?
I have used my laptop for 10 years.
10 years.
Lenovo. Yeah, 10 years.
But you must be taking care of it in a very good way, right? Maintenance, everything.
Yeah, it's a personal laptop, so
Right.
I'm taking care.
And you don't use it too much, I believe. Personal means you have office laptop, that is different.
Yeah.
Others?
7 years.
7 years?
Yeah. 7 to 10 years.
What about
I
Santana?
think we need to use the laptop every day. Then only it will be last for 7 or 10 years, I guess. If you're using it for very minimum, it will easily go damaged, I guess. This is from my experience. What I'm feeling.
But in fact, hardware will be working opposite. If you're using daily, I don't think you can use for 7 years, because hardware, everything will deteriorate, right?
From my experience, laptops have in companies. I almost, this is my third laptop in this 10 years. So almost average 3 years and 3.5 years is what you get on laptop, because you use it extensively. It gets used. The same, but from a home laptop, I have on desktop, but which I'm using it now close to 10 years. Previously, it was very less used, but now it is slowly getting used. Your laptop is only 1 year old, so we don't know. But overall, I would say, Mr. My experience with laptop is to have more effective usage. If you're using it more effectively, it should be maximum 3 to 4 years is what you can get the same quality and same life. You will tend to change it. Unless another, it's an exception. But it's very surprising to see people use laptop for 10 years also.
Yes, yes. So usually it's like even in India, it's showing like 3 to 5 years is the average. We can assume like 4 or even 5 years. And obviously it depends what's the use case, as you said. If you're using extensively, it's very rare it will go more than 4 to 5 years. Very rare. It will have wear and tear. And honestly, that is the strategy of businesses also.
Right.
I'll tell you one funny thing. It's in different industry. There is one brand called Lululemon. They sell clothing, especially athleisure. And there is another brand called Zara. Zara is also there, right? So now Zara sales and profit. If you see, Zara was a very good brand, but now because of their quality, it is coming down. So Zara's, if you see on social media, people are talking like Zara clothes is only for one time wear. But the benefit they're getting is people are constantly buying it. But if you see Lululemon, on the other hand, it has struggled to have repeated sale because their clothes are so good. After 5 years, also people are so comfortable. There's no warranty. And unfortunately, what has happened? Other big brands, Nike, Adidas, Puma, I have personally used and experienced the quality has gone down. They have not increased the prices. In fact, in some places they have reduced it a little bit, but the quality is very bad. Within a year, max to max, you cannot use more than that. The stitching, everything is coming out.
Oh,
Why? Because they want people to buy and keep buying again and again. Because the clothing industry altogether is going towards fast fashion. Fast fashion is like use and throw, use and throw.
see that if that in that case, I would say the longevity of a product, even the consumer don't expect to have it. For example, starting from a mobile phones to TVs or anywhere, if you see any product, nobody's if I say I'm using it for 8 years, 10 years, it's very very odd. They look at it. The people itself, they were after 2 3 years, things started burning out. Even in your for consumer goods like your washing machine, refrigerations, or say mobile phones. I would say mobile phones almost 2 years is what I can see, 2 or 3 years. So the longevity of a product today is very questioned or not that
It's
as
like
a vital.
social pressure. For me now, I have 5 years my phone, and now I have the oldest model. I'm like, I need to switch. You're very true. We also need a refreshing thing, and companies use for that favor.
Right.
They'll design in such a way that it should not long last. It may be unethical, but that's how they want repeat business. And as you said, customer don't care. They want to change. They're
Never
happy. Or what companies are doing, they are taking the old models for 10-20% of the price, and they are giving the new ones.
See, a mobile shop is one classic example I can tell. You go, if I say it's 3 years old, and this is not, that is not, sir, 3 years is too good a period, sir. They'll start pushing me or inducing me, showing you different, why don't you take this one? This will not go for more. Why are you spending? And that's how it is. So, nothing more than 3 or 4 years. They say you can't expect that to have using whether to have that more longing for, or it's surviving for more than 2 3 years.
Right.
The quality deteriorates. They say that's the expectations.
Quality deteriorates, and recently there was some controversy kind of thing. You guys have might have definitely seen with the Apple. It has been accused that purposely they are designing their phones, the battery will slow down faster, so that people upgrade to a newer model. In fact, they have responded to that, and they have issued an apology, I think. 1 second, let me see. I'll share that thing. Did you guys saw that? It was not just the batteries, but everything was slowing down. There was a lawsuit. Let me share. You can use this as an example, because we are dependent on the OEM, original manufacturers. Can you see a different screen? So Apple faced accusation and lawsuit for intentionally slowing down older iPhones through software updates. This the company stated was to prevent unexpected shutdowns caused by aging batteries. The issues led to multiple class action settlements with Apple agreeing to pay millions in settlement. Why did they pay millions? Because they were at mistake, you know. If you see the second one, lawsuit and accusers claim that this was a deceptive practice to pressure users into buying new phones. But if they design in such a way that it's lasting only for, let's say, 4 years, let's say 5 years, and we are selling the products which is already being used for, let's say, 2 years, then automatically the life of our products will slow down. Do you think it's a threat for our business or opportunity? How do you look at it? Is the question clear?
I think there is a risk, not the opportunity for Apple.
You think it's a threat, not an opportunity?
Yeah.
Why it is
Which
a
is
threat and how we
unethical
can-
way, right? Which we can consider it as an unethical business practice, right?
So then the quality of the brand value gets is questioned. The name goes for
we can't do
the
anything.
carrier.
It's not our brand. It's not in our control. We are just the traders.
But even as a trader, if you are supporting Apple, you might tomorrow the consumers might take Ressett is selling products which is unethical and they are supporting it, which might not have a great value over a period of time. Maybe the volume or the proportion of your sales from Apple or that type of a product might be lesser, but overall it has an impact when you support unethical practices.
But do you think honestly it's possible for us to sell phones which doesn't include an Apple brand?
No, see, because Apple is one of the most sought brand where it is
We are almost
difficult to
like
say.
monopoly when it comes to phone. Maybe in laptops we have option, but in
Right,
phones,
right. So again, you have that caveat when you said it is all subject to the individual risk of the consumer. So we are not. We can take. We can write a disclaimer and sell this off.
or if you know any specific model has an issue, we can avoid selling that particular model.
We cannot. We don't need to promote much actually. We'll rather say give other products. See, that happens even now in the mobile industry. See, if you see Samsung, I remember Samsung and also Nokia, LG. There are a couple of models where when they launched within a year, it did not have a great reception or great response. So they did not increase their production. They moved on to the next version. Samsung, I have seen that I'm not able to remember immediately. 2-3 years before, prior to COVID, there was a couple of brands which they introduced which was not successful. So they immediately upgraded to the next one, and that started going up.
Right.
Maybe the RAM and all those things was not
Again,
good.
the
So
thing is, this is not only with Apple. Every company is doing that. There is one very good
see, this
document.
will hold good for sorry.
Sorry.
Go ahead, sir. No, Mr. Percy, if you see for products like cars and all, if the product was not successful, they don't continue production or they don't go for sales next year. They move it out and they launch the next product faster. For example, your Honda and all, they keep changing. There are certain models they so kept it off within 2-3 years and then they launched new products in Hyundai cars.
Buying new stuff feels great, right?
Even a documentary on Netflix, it says buy now. Hello.
Ah,
So please watch this if possible over the week.
okay.
It will give a good ad. We'll just watch this like a trailer, for 2 minutes. Are you able to hear
The problem is that every year we're consuming more, producing more.
Can you hear the audio?
Yes, we can hear.
We'll just see this for 2 minutes, then later on you can watch more. It's really good. I did it. I watched it. It's relevant to our business also because ethics is a very important part of the CIMA exam. If other companies are being unethical, we cannot say, okay, if everyone is unethical, we'll also be unethical. No, we have to take a stand somewhere. And just to give you a clarity, if a question comes on ethics, we should not be in a gray area. We should be, very, very clear. We should be very strong with our words.
Buying new stuff feels great, right? The problem is that every year we're consuming more, producing more, and there's a flip side to that that no one wants you to see.
I was president of the Adidas brand.
I started at Apple.
I worked at Amazon for 15 years. It's a highly refined science to get you to buy stuff.
They know you. Like, we know you.
We were constantly developing new ways to get you to buy. Influencing your behavior in subtle ways that you'd never even realize. And every trick in the book is being used to hide what's really going on.
Look at this bag. They're doing what marketers always do, which is showing you the shiny little thing over here.
By Gucci.
Because they don't want you to look at what they're doing over here.
This is what they do with unwanted merchandise.
Amazon was dumping into landfills toys.
The voices of "we're going to protect the business" win out over the little voice in your head saying, "Should we really be doing this?"
These things are hazardous waste. We're drinking them, breathing them, and they're poison.
It just becomes this cycle of pain that may be providing you and your family with a lovely lifestyle, but you have to still reconcile that with things that are important to you as a human being.
Everybody wants to believe that the company that they're working for is not evil.
We can decide that this is not the way that we want to live and move it in a different direction.
Every industry needs to stop putting it on the consumer. Stop making it our responsibility. It's yours.
Life is about experiences and the people that we're with, and the stuff that we have supports it, but it's not the end. Whoever dies with the most stuff does not win.
Yeah. So please have a look at it for the week. If you don't have the subscription, you can have some documentaries, on the YouTube, definitely, the other ones. Okay. And I'll give you some task I'll put on the group, what you need to do over the week. Or it's more about the pre-scene. So we'll focus on the pre-scene analysis for the one more week. Hopefully by next weekend session, next Saturday, Sunday, we'll have more clarity on that. Main thing was introduction, what we did today. That is the most important part. Then we did few pages. So we have like around 60-70% still pending that we can do on the next session. Any questions before we close it for the day?
So basically, the next class is it next week?
It's on Saturday, Amir.
Saturday, okay, the same
I'll
time.
give you something to do over the
And
week.
what will be the timing, Misbah?
We can do 30 minutes early, as you said. We can do 8 p.m. India.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. So please follow that guideline.